Hey, it's the Ray Rican, and yesterday started Pride Month. So, are you ready to see all of these? All of these logos popping up all over the place? Or, you know, here's a list of the places where you won't see companies changing their logo at. All these countries here are countries where being LGBTQ plus whatever is illegal, which includes where is it? There's Iran. Oh, wait a minute. Where they don't have, if I'm not mistaken, Ukraine should be on here. I don't know why it's not here. So, anyways, so these are places where they're not gonna put their pride flag. Uh, but the one of the places where they did is at Vatican City, where we've had diplomatic relations with Vatican City since George Washington. So why am I beginning with this? Because obviously in the what in our country, in most Western countries, homosexuality is accepted. It's not just tolerated; it's accepted. Um, but they say they're putting the the pride flag up at Vatican City uh, to push tolerance, which is nonsense because um, you don't see people making a fuss about it. But I guarantee you, they won't put it in the Saudi Arabian embassy, Indonesian, any of these Muslim countries. There's a bunch of African countries. You won't see them in their embassies. Why? Because the people there will flip out. So if you really want to push for LGBT plus acceptance, then you should be putting those flags there. But no, uh, these companies will just they'll just virtual signal. That's all they're gonna do. You're gonna see all these companies do this virtual signaling, but not pushing uh, in other countries. But what our what our current administration is doing is pushing this pushing this on children. Here it goes. Biden administration. No free lunch. Biden administration will pull meal funding for schools that don't comply with its LGBT agenda. So this includes not allowing for kids to use um, their gender identity bathroom. So even if it's a boy and he identifies as a girl, if you don't let him use the bathroom, that's um, a cause to not get your funding. If you don't support transitioning children, you will get your school funding for lunch um, taken away. And that's why I said, please leave the children out of this. Please stop trying to do stuff like this. This Here it goes. North Carolina preschool teacher who used flashcards with pregnant man resigns. Leave the. You know what? We don't all agree on this. Okay, we don't all agree on this. So just because, and this is the whole thing. Even if you poll Democrats, all right, there's a lot of Democrats don't agree with this. It's just the few people who've bought into this wokeness nonsense that believe a man could get pregnant. But this is the whole thing. It's only when it's convenient to them, because then you have the abortion debate, and they're like, "Oh, if you don't have a uterus, if you're not a woman, then you shouldn't have an opinion." But wait a minute, you just you say men could get pregnant and a man could be a woman, but then when it comes to that, no, you conveniently want to say it's there's no difference. Same thing like you had the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, where people were like, "Oh, I can't believe he won." Men have all the power and blah 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 blah. But meanwhile, her accusation caused him a role in the Harry Potter movie that he played the star villain. But this is what goes. This is you know it's when it tickles their fancy that they want to push this. But this is why they're pushing it on children, because adults we're not accepting this nonsense. Okay, some people are, but the reason why they're grooming children, and I'm not meaning it in the sexual term, they're grooming these children to accept their ideology. Because if you brainwash the children to accept this, then they'll grow up to be people who accept it. That's why they want to push this on children. Don't um, but what you're really doing is you're harming children. You're confusing them with this ideology. It's not something that's wide accepted, but but children will accept it because you're telling them it's truth when it's not. And then they'll go on puberty blockers and stuff like that, and you're going to ruin their lives. It's not going to make their life better. This is stuff. These are decisions that adults should make. Okay. Um, there's a lot of underlying mental illness when it comes to gender dysphoria, and that needs to be treated before you could tell someone a surgery is going to make them feel better, because there are people who detransition, and they are hurt by this, because some people will say this was pushed on them, and that's why you know you could celebrate Pride Month, but leave the kids out of it. Leave the kids out of it. There's no reason. Let the kids retain their innocence. Okay. Stop pushing your ideology on them. Stop pushing your politics on them, and let kids be kids. Okay. S- You know, since we don't all accept this, this is not something that should be. If you're a woke person and you accept this, then you teach your children this. But here's the problem, because all these woke people, a lot of them, they don't want to have children, but they want to have yours. So that's when it comes to why they're pushing, you know, this whole gender identity, whole transgender ideology. That's why they're pushing this stuff onto children, because they're easily malleable, and it's sick. Leave the kids alone. There's no reason why um in order to celebrate Pride Month you need to have drag queen story hour, or drag kid shows. Let the kids be kids, and adults let us argue this stuff, but stop trying to push it on to children in schools and all over the place. Okay, gay people have equal rights in this country. All over the country, they're accepted all over the country. They're at least tolerated all over the country. Shouldn't say that, because you have the Bible Belt where people won't aren't okay with it, but it's not like people are going around gay bashing in the U.S. Okay, that stuff has stopped. But in other countries they throw gays off the roof. Put a pride flag there. Let me see how they react. But of course not. They won't do that. They want to push it on our children. So that's it. I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you guys think. Um, I'm the Ray Rican. I have a couple of things lined up for next week. Hopefully they'll fall through. I have a couple of interviews that I'm hopefully gonna do with some. Um, yeah, let's just leave it like that. I mean, there's actually gonna be some women I interview. Um, I'm looking forward to it, especially one. She's um, anyone who's watched her any of her live streams. She is a very outspoken woman, heavily opinionated, and she doesn't take shit from no one. So I'm looking forward to having her on and corroborating with her. No, whatever. Uh, I'm hopefully out. One of the things I started, why I took a little week off, was I started to get myself back into the gym, get myself working out again, losing some weight, starting to eat healthy. It's important. It's important in our lives to do that. So I took the first step toward doing that. So, anyways, I'm the Ray Rican. You can follow me YouTube and Rumble, and you can interact with me on social media. I have all social medias. You can also check out my website, therayrican.com. And with that being said, have a good one.